never loved me, yeah.
Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sipping my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture, I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Jop, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick shit, it's how we music, nigga.
Good evening, you great people. Good evening, you great people. I appreciate y'all for pulling up tonight. We're going to start a little something, you know, grown folks, late night evening conversations, adults. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Tanja. I already see her in the building. Let me shout out everybody that's in the... Matter of fact, can y'all hear me crystal clear? Because you know what? I noticed when I got off point, when I wasn't even asking y'all if y'all hear me. See, we had a little routine back in the days. You dig what I'm saying? So if y'all can hear me, I'm talking about anybody but a dead body. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, do me a favor. Throw the dice cubes up in the chat so I can acknowledge. Thank you, Keisha. Promise you. Thank you, baby, for putting it up. Keisha said, you can hear me. You're in there crystal clear. Y'all can hear me crystal clear. So let me get to the top right quick. And shout everybody out. First person to pop up in the building was my sis. Shout out to sis Net. She's in the building. My baby Keisha's in the building. My guy, City Bama, day one shit, he is in the building. Salute, beloved. Who else we got up in here? We got Always the Queen up in the building. I just said your name the other night. Remember when I was telling y'all, when we was talking about if people feel as though I do something wrong, and I told y'all, shout out to East New York. She's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Tanja. She's in the building. Shout out to her. She had asked for this story the other day. It was a touchy story. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make sure that I got everything in order to break this story down. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't want to just shoot at this sideways or whatever. But like I said, shout out to Always a Queen. I'm gonna give her props because I told y'all, that's the godmother of this shit, like on some real shit. And even though all of y'all, if y'all feel as though something is wrong, I said this the other day. Yo, Frank Boo, where you been, bruh? Where you been, my guy? We got Frank Boo up in the building, man. Don't worry, Frank. I'll put your wrench back on there in a few seconds. We had cleared wrenches because there was a bunch of crazy energy over here. But y'all, we cleared everybody's. But we'll get you right back, right? Appreciate you. I'm glad you're in the building. Um, like I said, Always a Queen has always been in the cut. Don't get it twisted. She been here from day one. She family. She the godmother of this shit. And like I said, I told y'all, when you got a group of great people around you, you know what I'm saying? You got a group of great people around you, whether you want to agree with what they're saying or not, you if you got any type of conscience of soul, it's gonna affect you. And she is always checked out for me, whether I'm right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just like the other day, you know what I'm saying? Long as y'all keep coming at me like that and keeping me in order and keeping me on point, I'm always appreciate y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, unfortunately, shout out to everybody that's in that dirty sector shit. It's just not me. If we over here, I appreciate it if we don't talk or get into any dirty sector nonsense. You dig? Because just like I said last night when Vibes and Man Do was in the building, I had all I had to do was tell Vibes and Man Do, shout out to Vibes and Man Do to pull up here, and I could have jumped on that wave that everybody's talking about with Jim Jones. You dig what I'm saying? You see the great Frank Boo. If I wanted to act like I wanted to jump on that wave, I got people that I could have talked to about that. But like I said, y'all, certain business ain't for everybody to be talking about. Certain business ain't for everybody to be talking about on this internet. And then another thing that bothers me, if people ain't really involved with certain increments or fractions or organizations, I don't say gang. You dig what I'm saying? I hear a lot of the young boys say gang. I don't say gang. I say fragments, organizations, a group of good friends, great conglomerates, comrades. If you're not involved with certain shit, you should not be talking about certain shit. That's just who I am. I've always said it. Just like the situation with Bimmy. Somebody came in here last night and was like, Dice, how you feel about that? Like I said, for certain things that me and other people have signed up for, whether it was a lower degree than me or a higher degree than me, we was always told no rat. That's my word, Frank Boo. As long as you out here, my nigga, long as you out here, bro. Long you figuring it out. You here. You here. You understand what I'm saying too? We got my guy Big Vibes in the building. Yo, Vibes, salute. I see you in the building, beloved. I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. City boy, I see you in the building. Big Brooklyn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when it comes to certain people, fragments, nah, just like I'm decent to the day I die. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honored to say I'm / low life too, because all my mans is low life. I really watch my mans, a group of great individuals, turn something from nothing to something. And I'm so proud of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that I don't understand how they carry themselves, because the low life, the love and loyalty that I know, nah, that shit is totally different. That's something really, really beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm proud of everybody for who they are and what they accomplished. We got a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, that's motivated and inspired by that whole low movement. You dig what I'm saying? That my man started. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. That low life shit is from St. John's, you know, the 2L posse, and dig what I'm saying? But tonight I wanted to talk about something. You know, everybody's caught up with the other nonsense that's going on YouTube about, you know, children and shit like that, because that's really none of my business. As far as certain things that's coming out on YouTube pertaining to that, all jokes aside, y'all, I really don't think that's for YouTube. You know, I think that's for investigators, Child Protective Service. Like I said, because when certain things are promoted on YouTube, certainly in a certain sector that's overwhelmed by a lot of people that's like really just trolling, that's just not cool. But like I said, shout out to Behind the Bar. Shout out to Behind the Bar for the great interview he did with the young lady. And the reason why I said I got to shout him out for that, because sometimes we need to hear the impact of victims. We need to hear it straight off their hands, straight off their tongue. You dig what I'm saying? So, like I said, everything happens for a reason. That situation right there is not my business. The only reason why I guess I had to address the young man for something is because over here, we got a little bit of, like, I was raised with a little bit of different. I'm different. I got a little, my morale and my integrity is all I got. And my honor, I will not compromise that shit for nothing. like I said, I know a bunch of criminals in the street, as y'all should say. Maybe some people may have unalive people. You know, I know some killers. You know, I know boosters. You know, I know robbers. I know thieves. I know hustlers. I know con artists. Shit, I know prostitutes. I know my homegirls. Shout out to all my homegirls that say prostitution is the Constitution. But you know, I could accept that. You know, maybe some people can't accept that because they don't come from where we come from, and we're products of our environment. So me personally, I can accept that. But death to all pedophiles. I'm never gonna accept that. I'm never gonna. Oh, say no more. Y'all sent you my new map. Say no more. I got you, Frank Boo. Right after this live, I say no more. Say no more. I thought you got my new map. I thought I sent it to you. The 308, the 857 number, but I got you. I'm sending it straight to you. Say no more. Say no more. I got you, boo. And like I said, when it comes to the pedophilia and all that shit, nah, we don't. We've never condoned no shit like that. I don't give a fuck who it is. We don't do that. We don't do that. Like I said, and unfortunately, I have friends that have been in some horrible situations pertaining to that. So me, that's not really nothing to play with. So I said tonight, I wanted to have an open conversation with some adults about this situation that a lot of people have not been covering. Shout out to my sister Cola James. Shout out to my sister Cola James, because I saw parts of it. She's been staying on top of her literature, you know what I'm saying, her journalistic thing, especially when she got a real thing going on with the situation with the rapper David. I know y'all been hearing about this rapper David and everything that's been going on with him and the young lady that they found unalived in his car. Police ruled it out as far as homicide. But it still could be some foul play. And a lot of people saying, because you know this lifestyle that these people are living today, some of these young kids are living this punk rock style, this rock and roll lifestyle. It pertains to a lot of drugs. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, you know, they're saying now that the young lady may have overdosed. But it's like I said, it's a bunch of foul play in that. I hope they get that straightened out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said, that case right there is it's heartbreaking also. But the case that I'm talking about today, y'all, that I want to get into, and shout out to Miss Tanja, because she was like, yo, Dice, get back to the content, and I need you to talk about this situation. A lot of y'all don't understand, you know what I'm saying? A Cleveland young girl, 5 years old, she was beaten and sexually assaulted by a group of children. Check this out, y'all. 8, 9, and 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Claiming that they forced sticks down her throat in a private area. And they saying that the youngest one, 8 and 9 years old, they possibly will go without any charges being brought up against them. Without any charges being brought up against them. Now, me personally, I can't even describe how I feel about that. I can't really describe how I feel about that. I know it angers me. I'm very, very upset. I'm not going to front it. I mean, it just totally breaks my heart to know that something like that happened. From what I know and what I've did my investigation on, young parents said she had allowed her friend to watch her child. And unfortunately, the little girl somehow got out of the home and they said went through a field, through a close proximity of some neighbors, and an 8-year-old, an 8-year-old, 2 8 years old, an 8 and 9-year-old, an 8 and 9-year-old girl. Listen to what I'm saying. An 8-year-old little boy, a 9-year-old little girl, and a 10-year-old little boy. They say are responsible for brutally assaulting this young lady. Yo, hoodies up. I see you in the building. Big Brooklyn shit. We here. Now, from what I'm hearing, because Chief Red here, I see you in the building. My brother from White Castle is in the building. Salute. From what I'm hearing right now, they're saying that this young lady, this little girl, you dig what I'm saying? Trace, I see you in the building. I'm glad you calmed down tonight. Y'all going to war, but you know we keeping it different over here. From what I'm saying right now is, who do we blame for this? Who do we blame for this? I remember, shout out to my nigga Hoodies Up. We was talking about this earlier. And it bothered us. It bothered us all. It's like, it enrages us all. The first thing would come to someone's mind, and some adults' minds, is, yo, you do something like that to my child. You know, as parents, maybe not thinking rationally, but not even thinking at all, the first thing we want to do is harm the people that are responsible for hurting our children. But pay attention. What do we do when it's a situation like this? When it's children. When it's children that are sexually assaulting each other. Yo, see, let me explain to you. I don't even think y'all really understand that the charges that these children have, and they are facing attempted murder charges, assault charges, and kidnapping charges. Y'all paying attention to what I said? They are facing assault charges. They are facing kidnapping charges. You know what I'm saying? And they're facing attempted murder charges. Just Eric, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Now, for everybody in here, hypothetically speaking, if this happens to a child, you know, if this happened to your child, if it happened to your niece, if it happened to your nephew, if it happened to your daughter, if this happened to your son, what do we do? What do we do? Seriously, I want to know from some of y'all in here to talk to me right quick. What do we do in this situation? My man Chief said, you got to start with the environment and at home. Children that did that act probably had witnessed that themselves and are repeating it. And this is what I was trying to tell yo. You know what? This is what me and Hoodies was talking about this morning. You're not going to tell me that an 8-year-old child, a 9-year-old child, and a 10-year-old child are just going to wake up and say, you know what? I want to sexually assault somebody. I want to literally damn near kill somebody. Like, where did they get that whole initiative? You dig what I'm saying? Like they saying that they shoved a ruler down this young girl's throat. They shoved the ruler in her private areas, and they scalped her. They shaved her head. They cut her hair off her head. Now, me personally, I believe that certain laws should be implicated in this. See, in certain states, if a child commits a crime, like if, say for instance, a parent has a gun in the home, and the gun isn't in a lockbox. The child knows exactly where the gun is at. And say that child takes that gun and go unalive somebody. You know, in certain states, the parent gets charged for that. And I think this is one of the situations where I think the parents should be held totally responsible. Keith just said the parents should be held accountable. See, me, I agree with that. You know what? I believe in a case like this that the parents should be held totally responsible, that the parents should be arrested, the parents should be charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. And let me tell you why I say this. Because them babies don't know anything but what they've been exposed to. Them babies don't know nothing but what they were shown. And see, I know this may sound harsh, but see, when we was coming up, y'all, if my mother and Always a Queen were friends, if my mother and Tanja were friends, if my mother and any of the women in my neighborhood were friends, my mother told them, if you see my child in the street doing something other than I taught him, you have the right to correct them. You have a right to discipline them. In other words, my mother said, if you catch Damon doing XYZ, bust his ass. See, I'm not talking about, I'm from the era when, I went to PS 167. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Miss Harper, my principal. I think one of my favorite principals. My mother said, if Damon gets out of line, Thelma, that was they had a rapport because my mother was always up to school for me, just doing dumb shit, acting out, being a class clown, disrupting the class. My mother said, Thelma, if Damon gets out of line, I give you permission. Always the Queen said, that's how I grew up. She said, I give you permission to boss his ass. See, back in the days when we got in trouble, it was me and one other person that mother came to school and beat our ass. Shout out to my man, Twan Lowe. Mr. Antoine Whitney. He used to always go, Mr. Damon McLeod. I say Mr. Antoine Whitney, my childhood friend, man. Shout out to my man, Twan Lowe. If you know, you know. I remember one time Twan was acting up in school and his mother came up to school and she handled him in front of the whole class, in front of the teachers, in front of every one of us that was sitting in that class. And back then we had overpopulated classrooms. So it was about 34 to 36 children in the classroom. And I never forget his mother saying, well, if you're going to embarrass me, and have me come up to this school and have these people looking at me like I'm not raising you right or I'm treating you wrong, I'm going to embarrass you. Same thing my mother said to me when she came up there and grabbed me out of my class and took me straight to the motherfucking guidance office and took me in Miss Harper's office and took her belt out of her bag. And rest in peace, Miss Thelma Harper walked right out of that principal's office while my mom's worked me over. Huh? Tell him, Frank. Tell him where we come from. So today, this is what hurts me, and this is what really saddens my heart. It's what saddened my heart. I just had this conversation with my cousin. Your daughter's 5 years old. Excuse me, your daughter's 7 years old, and she has an iPhone 15. Your daughter is 7 years old. I just had this conversation with my cousin last week, and your daughter has an iPhone 15. Parents, we are giving our children too much free time. And a lot of parents today aren't doing what our parents did with us. Our parents were nosy. Y'all, if y'all had a nosy parent, put some dice cubes up in the chat. Our parents were nosy. You see, nowadays, you see these kids running around and their parents are rewarding them for nothing. We had to bring home good grades. We had to do our chores. Bad vibes, I see you in the building. Salute, bro. We had to do our chores. You understand what I'm saying to you? We had to do our chores. East New York said they grew up with all these violent video games, and now look. And you know what? That's a great point because I didn't even think about that. Yo, you know what? That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. You know what? Let me explain something to you. When we grew up, we had games like Jungle Hunt, Donkey Kong, Centipede, Pac-Man, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Our kids are growing up with, what is it? What's the name of it? The game from California? What's the name of the game from California where everything is just so realistic? Somebody tell me the name of the game that everybody's playing. And there's so many levels of it. Dr. Dre and all of them is in there. Snoop Dogg and them is endorsing these games. What the hell is the name of this game, y'all? Where these kids is running around, Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. East New York, you really is black. Y'all talking about she Russian. This woman is black. A Russian person would know that. Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. That's a fact. Now pay attention to this. Our kids, now pay attention to this. That was a great point that she brought up. Those games over exemplify. Yo, Meek, where the hell you been, girl? Meek, I'm back on Instagram. This is my family right here, y'all. This is 35 years plus Jackie Robinson shit. I don't know if y'all remember. That's Meek right there. That's a female. Y'all. You understand what I'm saying to you? Jackie Robinson, finest right there in the building. I miss you, sis. Where the hell you been? I'm glad you all right. You dig what I'm saying? And she said, yep, Grand Theft Auto. Now, see, pay attention. This is what our kids grew up playing. Games that over exemplify violence. Games that just quote unquote tell you you can kill the police. You can kill the police. Oh, you can rob somebody. Oh, you can get out your car and beat somebody in the head. Or you can get out and run. You can sell drugs. Pay attention to all these new lifelike games that these kids are coming up with. Us personally, the exposure we had when it came to things like that was real life in the street. And the gangsters, I'm talking the old school gangsters, they tried their best to keep that away from us. It wasn't overly glorified. It was just a way of life. And let me explain something to you. It all bred back to our parents then, like it's coming back to our parents now. Back then, if our parents weren't on top of us, yo, where you going? You know, we wanted to go to our friend's house. Our parents told us the minute you get to your friend's house, I need to speak to a parent. I need to speak to a guardian, someone that's adult that I know is going to be there for you. Won't just be trying to explore. Nowadays, our parenting skills aren't as extensive and intrusive as our parents was. Yeah, we grew up talking about, yo, you always in my business. I'm tired of this. I can't wait till I'm grown. If you said that, let me see dice cubes. If you ever said to yourself, yo, why you always in my business? Or you was upset with your mother or father. You know what I'm saying? If you was upset with your parents because you felt as though they was being over nosy. I did. You see what Meek said? She said we had to stay in a child's place and out of adults' faces. See, now, pay attention. Pay attention. A lot of parents aren't doing that anymore. And see, there's a host of reasons why a lot of parents aren't doing that more. There's reasons why, because a lot of our parents today are working overextensive jobs. They're working hours. See, now it's not like our parents. Our parents, like if our parents had to work certain jobs, they always made sure it was a respectable adult that was watching our children, even if the respectable adult may have had an addiction. My man Just Eric said we went from Super Mario Brothers to How to Kill a Brother. Shaking my head. Think about that. So back then, our parents, they were held accountable for our actions. Yo, let me tell you something. This shit is so real. When I was coming up, it was times when people fucked up money in the street and their parents would sneak out in the street and pay them debts. Oh, y'all don't want to hear this. There were times when we had family members that were addicted to drugs that may have accumulated a bill in the street pertaining to drugs, preferably heroin, crack. You understand what I'm saying to you? And then you would hear certain people from the neighborhood saying such and such owed me money. And then certain people, what they did, they came out. You know, the mothers came out. Ron BX, I see you in the building. Salute. They came out, and what them grandmothers did back in the days, y'all. They went and them paid them bills. Angie, baby. What's up, girl? Y'all remember what they did? You know how many times man, listen. You know how many times my moms paid bills? You understand what I'm saying to you? Because it was a different level of accountability as opposed to today. I would like to know, where are the parents? Where are the parents of this 8-year-old, this 9-year-old, and this 10-year-old that horrifically just took the innocence of this 5-year-old little girl? But see, you know why I want to know who the parents is? Because I want to know, where were y'all when y'all allowed the innocence of y'all children that are now involved in an attempted murder case? But see, the 8-year-old and the 9-year-old, they might not be charged. But the 10-year-old, prosecutors are pushing. Yo, are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Prosecutors are pushing for a 10-year-old to be arrested for sexual assault and attempted murder. Now let's see. Now let's take a trip down memory lane. I can't remember the young boy's name. He was 11 years old, 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And him and his cousin made a little girl, rest in peace. They were wrestling. Pay attention. Just like these children sexually assaulted this child, This young man, 11, 12 years old, and his cousin, female, they were emulating what they were exposed to, which was wrestling. They were emulating what they were exposed to, which is wrestling. The young man put his cousin into a wrestling position called the power driver, where you put someone's neck between your legs, and you scoop them off their feet, and you jump in the air and drop down to the ground. And this young girl neck was broke and she was killed. Y'all remember that? And she was killed. Now pay attention. This young boy, when he was wrestling with his cousin, there was no point in his mind where he thought that he was going to unalive his cousin. Pay attention. They were both playing. They were wrestling. They were doing what they saw on TV, which is an act. See, that little boy and that little girl did not know, when you see people doing certain wrestling moves like the power driver, a body slam, they are moving surfaces, meaning the ground that they are wrestling on, the platform that they are wrestling on, it bounces. The floor of the wrestling ring moves just because of this fact. Direct input from a head with weight from another human body, including their weight, straight to the ground will automatically result in some type of injury. If it's not someone being paralyzed, unfortunately, like this little girl, somebody thought that they was just doing a move. I knew it was something. I know he picked her up, Frank, and dropped her on her neck. You know what I'm saying? I know he picked her up and dropped her on her neck. And if I'm not, that child is still in jail right now. Appreciate you, sis. And that child is still in jail right now. That's why I say, so what we do about these kids with this situation with this little 5-year-old girl, y'all? Like, what do we do? What do we do in this situation right here? Are the parents to blame? Are the parents to blame? Should the parents be charged with these crimes? Because first of all, something has to be done. All right, okay, so all right, so if these children are not charged, and they say they can't charge them criminally, so what's supposed to be done? Are they supposed to be taken out of their homes? Are they supposed to be taken out of their homes? Are they supposed to be put into different homes now? Are the parents supposed to lose rights to be parents? It's a bunch of questions that need to be answered because, like I said, there has to be some type of justice. There got to be some type of justice for little Amarie. Let's go.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds were cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes, like was that smart? Now they uploading their clothes on the Poshmark. Switch, baby, careful with this. I mean, this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like, high from who? Bound to put your car on skates. You think you sliding through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's pulling up in the building. We got Phoenix Blaze up in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Big Dog Soldier up in the building. We got 1-2 Freddy up in the building. Phoenix, you know you got your links. Your family over here. Drop your links, y'all. Phoenix is, whew, oh, Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. Let me tell y'all, I heard a show today. Shout out to Phoenix Blaze. I'm telling y'all, some of you women in this world, yo, y'all make me think about something I was talking to Keisha about. Y'all make me think about something today, you women. I'm going to tell you something right now. And I can't knock you. You know why I can't knock you? My mother, my beautiful mother, she had a mouth on her. She had a mouth on her. They say when a woman is upset, they say her mouth can be equivalent to the iniquity of a snake pit. You understand what I'm saying to you? Y'all see what I be going through with these people. Shout out to Ghostface Keisha. I'm so glad she beefing with somebody else. Yo, I swear to God, that girl, when I tell you, these women are crazy, but that's another situation that I'm going to actually say, y'all, that's just some Brooklyn shit, man. That's just some fucking Brooklyn shit, man. East New York been drinking. She been dropping them chats. What you sipping on, girl? What you sipping on tonight? Appreciate that super chat. You dig what I'm saying? Because you women, y'all women is something crazy. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not upset with that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, man, let me tell you something about this YouTube shit, man. Y'all women gotta, I guess y'all gotta make y'all points too. You dig what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm just with the content now, y'all. And I want y'all to stay on my back like y'all been on my back because, like I said, man, not me. She said I'm drinking tea and honey with carnation milk. Word up. Word up. We don't do trolls in here, beloved. We don't do trolls. We getting you out of here, big dog. We don't do. Somebody shoot that Bimmy account. We don't do trolls in here. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do. You dig what I'm saying? But that's just something I just decide we don't do over here. You dig what I'm saying? We do not do that shit over here. You dig? So, you know. But it ain't no problem, you know. So like I said, yo, I got you, Frank Boo. The minute I end this live, I got you. Stay solid. You heard me? Salute. Shout out to Frank Boo in the building, y'all. Word up. Official low life. Official general. You dig what I'm saying? Besides the low life shit, if you know, you know, man. Certain things ain't for everybody to know. You dig what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm honored. That's one of my OGs, and he ain't that much older than me. But that's one of the niggas that was really, really outside. I was a little dude watching him make movies as a kid, and by the blessings of Allah, he's another one of my mans. Just like Vibes, you know what I'm saying? Just like Fruit that they try to lose in the system. But you know, Allah got the last word. Allah got the last word, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to them for coming home, you dig what I'm saying? And coming home as they are, you dig? But all jokes aside, y'all, what do we do about this situation? What do we do about this situation, y'all? Like, I mean, should the parents be held responsible? Should us as parents be held responsible for our children's actions? Should us as parents be held responsible for our actions, for our children's actions? Because I know one thing. I don't care how cool I am with somebody. I know they don't want to hear that my child unalived their child. I don't want to hear that none of my friends' children may have unalived my child because, see, that's going to bring a development of anger that's going to shift. It's going to radiate. It's going to radiate from the child straight to the parent. Because if you my friend and I'm your friend and we stand on certain morale and principle, how are our children out here committing these type of acts? Seriously. We got a 5-year-old little girl, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That her mother, and I feel so bad for her mother, and it's in Cleveland. That's in Cleveland. The lady decided to let her child go spend some time with friends of hers that obviously was not attentive because this young girl, 5-year-old, see, that's another thing too. See, it's just too much to that story. You mean to tell me, everybody in here, let's talk logically right quick. We have a friend or we have a family member that brings a 5-year-old child to our house. How does that 5-year-old child get out of our eyesight, y'all? How does that child get out of our eyesight and then end up harmed? We're not even gonna go into the graphics no more. We already know it is. And then they end up harmed like that. What do we do? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do? You see what Dog said. What do we do? What do we do? He said, I'm a man, and my 5-year-old ain't going nowhere without me. Without me. And the sad part about it is, who's responsible for this now? Who? Now they saying that this little young girl, they don't even know if she's gonna even recover. They don't even know if she's gonna have a normal life. And first of all, this isn't more important than some bullshit on YouTube. Why isn't it important? Because she's a black little girl? Because for some reason, this story is not worldwide and going viral everywhere. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about the papers. It's small segments about this. And on YouTube, if you type in Amarie, 5-year-old little girl, a couple of things come up. But why everybody not talking about this? See, let me tell you something. You better get a grip on your kids. You better get a grip on your children. I'm telling you, we all were sneaky at one particular point. We all wanted to be grown at one particular point or another. We all have lied to our parents, whether it was a bold lie, whether it was a slight lie, whether it was a little lie. Yo, mommy, me and Tina, we're going to the mall to look for some dresses. But you and Tina going to Howard Avenue to the projects to go see the dude you met and his cousin because he asked you if you had a friend for his cousin. Yo, ma. Yo, me and Rod getting ready to go to the park and we gonna play some ball. I'll be back on later on. I'll see you. But the minute I step out the door, me and Rod, we going to Kingston and Bergen. We getting 2 dimes of skunk and 2 dimes of chocolate and a 40 ounce of Old English and a white owl. And we going to Brooklyn Children's Museum Park and we gonna roll up some weed and we gonna smoke some weed. The reason why we comfortable smoking some weed down there because our mother thinking we're in St. John's Park, but we're in Brooklyn Children's Museum's Park. We done all did that shit to our parents. She said, don't forget the chicken wings and fried rice. We have all did this to our parents. We have all at one particular time or another, told a white lie. The Russian princess is in the building. Is that the illest sister in the building? Is you bout it, fool? Yo, RP, she ride dolo from state to state. I ain't gonna front. Yo, RP, I'm dead ass serious. I gave you a like, but I ain't understand what the hell you were saying. She did a short the other day on Instagram, like she was in a spa or something, and she was talking to Russian. I didn't understand nothing. She cute little dog jumped in. She talked English for about maybe a quarter of a second, and then she went back to Russian. So I just gave it a motherfucking like because it sounded fly. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. I ain't understand what you were saying, but the shit sounded fly. I ain't gonna front. I might try to go take up a little bit of Russia. You know what I'm saying? A little Russian. Get a little Russian. I might just explore my my plateau. You know what I'm saying? Get up here and do a show. We getting chilling and all that. Nah, but shout out to the ladies of iTalk, man. Bori and Russian Princess. Like I said, they doing their thing. Great content, great show over there. And they don't be in no bullshit. If they do, they keep it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because they're human beings like anybody else. But let me ask y'all something. Yo, Russian Princess, I don't know if you heard about this, RP, about the 5-year-old little girl in Cleveland that was sexually assaulted by an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Who should be held responsible? Who should be held responsible, RP? Because they're saying the 8-year-old and the 9-year-old, they're underage, so they can't be charged. But the 10-year-old, they're facing charges of attempted murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. The parents. You see that? You see what she said? You see what she said, y'all? The parents. The parents. And let me tell you why I feel as though the parents should be held responsible. If they pass a law stipulating that children under a certain age, if they commit certain crimes, their parents will be held responsible. I believe parents will start being a little more attentive in their children's lives. I really believe that. I think parents would be start paying attention to who their children are hanging out with, where their children are going. Y'all understand that? Remember back in the days, your mother said, "We are going. We going to basketball practice." Well, your mother said, "I'm going with you. I'm going with you." Matter of fact, I'm gonna call your uncle and them. He gonna go over there and make sure you go straight to basketball practice and you come back home. And that's a cold-blooded fact. Like Meek said earlier, the same thing. She said these children, they definitely need to get help because number one, where were they taught this? Where were they taught this? You're not gonna tell me a 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old are just gonna wake up one day and do something this horrific. You're not gonna tell me that. You're not gonna tell me that that wasn't something that was put into them, something that was shown. You understand what I'm saying to you? Shown something that was exposed to them. East New York said, or if you went to a friend's house and your mother had to speak to their mother, you had to get, that's a fact. You had to give the phone number. That was a priority. Otherwise, my mother did that. My mother did that. But see, let me explain something to you. Now kids got cell phones. Oh, y'all forgot? Oh, y'all forgot? Kids got cell phones now. And only a few parents really take advantage of a feature that's on every cell phone. Can anybody tell me what that is? Can anybody tell me what that is? That's a cold-blooded fact, East New York. You see what I just said? Only a few parents today will, quote unquote, have that shared location on their child's device. You see that? You know, it's a lot of parents today. Yo, let me tell you something. Is it just me? And I'm just gonna be dead real. I know y'all know I be saying some crazy shit sometimes, so I just gotta say what's on my heart. Is it just me or all parents or a lot of the parents different today? Is it me? Because me, I'm more old-fashioned than my grandfather. Oh shit, yo, Ron, that's what I meant to tell you too. Because it was so many people on. Yo, Ron, when I get off this, I'm hitting you on my gram. I gotta sit you my number. I didn't even know you hit me, beloved. You hit me when I was in. I ain't even know. Don't worry, I got you. When I get off, you and Frank Boo are the first people I'm calling. Make sure y'all got my direct lines. I thought I shot my new line to Frank Boo because I changed it, but now I got to make sure he get that. But I'm glad he all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my dudes, I know what they be into. I know how they live, and I understand what society is setting up. Yo, let me tell you something. Society is setting up more and more traps for our people. See, let me tell you something. What I learned. Yo, free baby Sam until we free. You understand what I'm saying to you? I watched them. I watched them. Is we got Sir Valentino in the building? We got, is that the illest nigga in the building? Oh, we got my man behind the bar in the building. Yo, what up, beloved? Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna get back into the story about the nigga baby Sam. Believe it or not, behind the bar, he said, yo, how you get that name? My name is Damon McLeod. Everybody know that. Keisha could tell you this. My uncle name is Ice Water, but his Muslim name is Justice. He's from Utica Avenue. When I was coming up, my uncle, LaVon McLeod, people know him as Ice Water Justice, my mom's baby brother, that was my fucking superhero. That was my superhero. And since his name was Ice Water, I took the D from my name and put D in front of Ice Water. Because they used to always call me, yo, that's Ice Nephew. And then it went to, yo, that's Dice Uncle. See, I don't think y'all heard that transition. When I was coming up, they used to be like, yo, that's Ice Nephew. But then when I became who I am, they say, yo, that's Dice Uncle. And then I was always attracted to shooting dice. My uncle taught me certain games. Like my uncle started this game called I Bet You Can't Beat the Deuce Twice. No, anybody, Frank Boo will tell you this. He was just up in here. Everybody know my uncle, Ice Water. He grew up calling people duty picker. That's why I be calling people doodoo heads. See, first of all, like when you hear people saying doodoo head, yo, come on, man. That shit is that's a remix. That's a remix compliment. That's a remix hood compliment. My uncle called everybody duty picker. He used to do that shit to me. I can tell you a story or two, man. When I was a little boy, he used to be like, yo, you little duty picker. Yo, what up, duty? Like if my uncle ain't call you a duty picker, if he ain't be like, yo, what up, duty? You wasn't nobody. Like he ain't fuck with you. He felt as though something was wrong with your spirit. That's why certain people you always used to hear me say, yo, what up, doodoo head? That's just a remix compliment from my uncle. You dig what I'm saying? That's just a remix compliment. You know what I'm saying? It's something that'll make somebody laugh. Like, just imagine, y'all, somebody walk up and say, yo, shut up with your little duty picker. Like, what you call me? Yo, you a little duty picker. You be picking duty. Yo, that's the funniest shit ever. I used to get so mad when he used to say that shit to me because that name came from something he made up for me. He used to be like, man, that's my little duty picking nephew. And people used to be like, what you said, Ice? But I bet you ain't nobody fuck with me. Like, everybody will tell you, can ask all the super low lifes who my uncle is. You dig what I'm saying? That's Ice Water, you dig? But like I said, I think that the system is planning things. Like, look at what's going on with Baby Sam. Anybody know about Baby Sam, official legend from the street? You dig what I'm saying? Like, I heard the stories about him. Like I'm saying, shout out to Mayo and all of them, the Riches and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to G Baby. If you know, you know. Anyway, Baby Sam just came home, if I'm not mistaken, from doing like 36, 38 years. That's a fact, BDB. That's a fact. See, that's another thing about me. Like I try to tell people, yo, I'm not gonna forget who I am. I love my family. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. My uncle and my pops, they did some things that broke my heart. Like my pops, he started getting high. He started fucking with crack. My uncle, he started fucking with heroin. Like certain things they did broke my motherfucking heart. But they still my family. And then said, Dice, my granddaughter says, doodoo head. I looked at it and started laughing. See, that's a compliment. That's a love compliment. You know what I'm saying? If somebody call you a duty picker, come on, man. That's some cool shit right there. But like I said, when it comes to dudes like Baby Sam, and then people get mad when I say this too, free Blue Boy, man. Free Blue Boy. You dig what I'm saying? People doing 36 and 38 years. And then by a slight technicality, A slight technicality. You mean to tell me you hire somebody like Blue Boy, a well-known dangerous Crip, a man that did 38 years, went to jail for his first murder at 18 years, and was raised in the system. Now, check his history. Then gets into an altercation with another notorious killer by the name of Larry Davis, may he rest in peace. And then he's responsible for unaliving Larry Davis. Pay attention to you. Larry Davis is the same one that took the police on a 3-week manhunt, killing police, running through, beating up police on Rikers Island. They put him in a wheelchair. You know, Blue Boy comes home. Blue Boy comes home. Everybody start, you know what I'm saying, saluting him, gravitating to him. It's all love. Bloods is gravitating to him. Shout out to Mikey B and them if you see the video they did with Blue Boy. You know what I'm saying? The Crips started gravitating to him. He became a figure. He was doing certain interviews on YouTube, getting a great buzz. And then Big Baby from the Boston Celtics decided to hire him for security in a fucking weed spot, in a dispensary. I ain't gonna front. That's that blue slushy, Chief. I ain't gonna front. That's that blue slushy. I ain't gonna front. That's that blue slushy. Shout out to my nigga Wild Bill. If you know, you know. That's that blue slushy, my nigga. But pay attention. They give him a job as a security guard in a dispensary. So all these people are coming in this dispensary, knows this man's reputation. And then allegedly, from whatever happened between him and a young man that came in there, like they said, and tested his gangster, somebody happened to get shot. And now this man is back in jail after doing 38 years. He's back on jail to the cop out of 10 to 12 years. That shit right there is saddening to me. That's very saddening to me. You got Baby Sam, he come home, 36 years. And by a slight technicality, now he's back in jail. Free my nigga Tank, man. I don't know if y'all know. Free the blood Tank, man. Free the OG, man. Tank came home, was very impressionable on YouTube, had a great page, had a great following. And then unfortunately, another slight technicality, Tank gone, gun charge. Like I said, people talked about some of the greats that's no longer here, but they don't give them the props that they deserve. You know why? Because we're not parenting. We're not a village no more, y'all. It's like, yo, let me tell y'all something. You know, everybody be saying I'm some deacon and shit like that. I ain't no deacon or nothing like that. I just call it how I see it. Yo, we in some evil fucking times right now, y'all. Yo, we in some evil times right now, y'all. We in some evil fucking times right now. I'm talking about, let me explain something to you. And we're wondering why there is a 8-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old that's responsible for the horrific crimes that they did to that 5-year-old little girl. We wondering why these kids is doing that. Look what the fuck we doing. Knowing some real shit. Look what the fuck we doing. Them babies, I'm seeing kids riding around in videos now on Instagram and YouTube, and they got these little children singing Sexy Red. They got these little babies, 3 and 4 years old, singing NBA Youngboy. They got these little children singing YMN Nelly songs. What you think we doing to these babies? What y'all think we doing? What you think they gonna turn out to be? You think they gonna turn out to be law-abiding citizens? And y'all are inducting violence in their heart from their fucking children, the most imperative years of their life? Like on some real, like, do y'all understand what's going on? Y'all don't remember back in the days when we used to be babies and we started singing rap songs, or the little girls started dancing and singing Betty White songs or certain songs that they heard? What y'all parents did? They popped them. They beat their ass. You remember back in the days when we was little boys and we was trying to emulate all that hip hop shit? How our parents would look at us and all of a sudden it'd be an automatic mute button. We start talking. And then when our little cousins and them was dancing, they'd be like, yo, why that little girl Why she acting fast like that? Why she acting so fussy? Y'all remember that when the aunts and the grandmothers used to snatch them little girls up and pull them in the bathroom, and you start hearing all that rumbling and shit, that aunt telling them, bitch, you go out there again and you let your dress come up like that again, I'm gonna kill your ass in here. Matter of fact, go take your ass upstairs and sit. Yo, that shit ain't here no more. That shit ain't here no more, y'all. That's why these babies is fucked up. Because we fucked them up. You know, it's an age now where some people are telling their friends and telling their neighbors that are supposed to make sure their children are safe when they're at work. You tell them, don't say nothing to my child. Y'all ain't never heard that? Y'all don't notice how the women today are telling people, don't say nothing to my child. You better not put your hands on my child. But when we was coming up, our parents insisted that you made your presence known if one of us was in the street doing something that we wasn't supposed to be doing. What the fuck is we talking about? Let's be real for a minute. You got parents today saying, mind your business, that's my child. No, that's when our parents was coming up, that was our children. What? Back in the days we cut in school, yo, you can't go down that block. Why you can't go down that block? Because you know Miss Mary don't work. She might be going to the store. She might be in the window. When my mom's come home, she gonna tell her, yo, she saw us on the motherfucking block. That shit ain't around no fucking more, man. That ain't around no more, my nigga. Like back in the days, like I really come from that era where people died. Like if you know anything, like if you know anything about Prospect and Ralph, St. Mark's and Ralph, excuse me, where the new building is, the school is. That was an abandoned building where a lot of people in the neighborhood left a lot of fucking bodies. And when they did the remix on that building and they did the construction on that building and turned it into the school, it was so many bodies that were found in that body. It was literally like a scene from The Wire when them niggas was finding them bodies in the vacant lots. I heard a YouTuber say something that flattered me. That flattered me. I heard a YouTuber say something that flattered me. Even though he was trying to insult me, it flattered me. He said, yo, the nigga Dice, like his life, he must have pulled it out of a book, like out of a movie. All jokes aside, y'all, I heard a YouTuber say that I pulled my life out of a motherfucking movie or a book. That's how real my life is. That's a cold-blooded fact. That was one of the most highest compliments I ever got since I was on YouTube. You know the problem with people today is, y'all? Let me tell you what the problem is. So many people are playing, they don't understand we come from an era where people barely played. Like everybody today want to smile and show teeth and grin teeth. Like when we was coming up, people ain't really smile like that. Like unless they was around family and friends. Like it was always a different militancy. See, because this social media. This social media has a way of making people become things that they could have never imagined to be in their physical form in real life. Whether it was accepted, respected, applauded, or even admired. People ain't never been admired in their real life. I got people that tell me every day. I got people that I grew up with. I got people that, Dice, I love you. Like, thank you for being you. Like, if it wasn't for you, who knows how or who I would have been. I got family members that tell me that. A lot of these people up here, and it's so sad. This is not just this app. This is all over the place. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. So many people that are so ashamed of what they couldn't do or what they didn't achieve. You dig what I'm saying? Like my pops always told me, he said, I ain't gonna tell you what to do. He said, but you better not never tell yourself what you can't do. And that's what a nigga that smoked crack taught me. You dig? Like a lot of these niggas, they never believed in themselves. They never was taught, yo, it's either you're gonna take a risk or you're gonna wish you would have took a risk. Like it's too, like my pop said, if you don't take a risk, if you're afraid as a man or as a woman, I'm gonna give you a free jewel as an adult. If you're afraid to take a risk for your embetterment, you'll always work for somebody who wasn't. Don't let that shit go over your head. If you're afraid as a man or a woman or as a child, if you're afraid to take a risk on yourself, you'll always be employed by somebody else that wasn't. That's a fact. See, unfortunately, the risk that we took when we was coming up, some of them shits could have been life changing. We took risks that could have caused us to die. We could have took risks that could have caused us to go to jail. And then some of us took risks that we eluded certain things. But see, some of us got a different punishment from being in the street. Like me, like when you start asking yourself why you didn't die yet, you came up in a wrong environment. Like a lot of my mans is gone, and I'm like, yo, like God, how you got me here? Like why the fuck I'm still here? Like, see, that's the curse of people that gotta outlive people that they love and things that they've been. Like a lot of niggas don't know. It's like they say it's like a vampire. Like they say a vampire never wants to fall in love. And they say the reason why a vampire never wants to fall in love because a vampire keeps his same image to the world, a young, attractive person. Great grandson, salute. But see, that vampire, every time he attracts a woman, even if he was to love her, he would always have to watch her die. See, a lot of niggas, you know why people so playful nowadays? Because they ain't never seen nobody die. A lot of niggas ain't never seen nobody die. Niggas heard about people dying. Niggas seen shit on the news, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't never come to a block and it's a bunch of people in the street and people are screaming and it's a sheet on a nigga because a nigga on the floor dead and we waiting for one motherfucking van because in Brooklyn back in the days, it was only one body van. It was only one body van. So if a nigga got hit and he died, say about 8:30 at night, sometimes a nigga ain't get picked up to 11, 12. So we had to sit out there with them bodies, with the police, with the shit taped off and all that. A lot of niggas ain't never been through that, so that's why they don't have a real understanding of disrespect. Like certain things that you say to people can really get you really hurt. But who says that way is right? And then when you, like I said, the whole thing with social media, it's like it's too many people mixing up. Like it's like when we was in school, like remember, it was the cool crew. It was the crew that was fly. It was the chicks that was fly. It was the niggas that was fly. You know what I'm saying? And then it was the nerds. You dig what I'm saying? And then it was the clowns. You dig? And then it was the people that was totally, you know what I'm saying, ignored, that they was never even recognized. You dig? So when it comes to this social media, you have a conglomerate of all four. You got clowns, people that was never even never even thought about it any or spoke about it in any conversation. And you got the fly niggas and you got the fly chicks. It's all the same thing. But the reason why social media has a way of just fucking up a bad representation is because everybody's coming out and trying to be each other. When we was coming up, the drug dealers was trying to be rappers. But now the rappers wanted to be drug dealers. See, ain't that some shit? When we was coming up, the drug dealers, the killers, the murderers, they wanted to be rappers. Now, the rappers that went to school or maybe had chances to go to college or play basketball or just get out the hood because of their academics, they want to be drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? They want to be the killers. Like the shit is just it just that's why I said it's just too many people that mixed in and started just agreeing with everything. Like I said, some of the things we see on YouTube, you know, it wouldn't even be a conversation back in the days when it's a certain situation, when it's a certain mark on an individual, whether it's male or female, and that shit right there is solidified and validated by another official or group individuals. Nah, it was nothing else to talk about. See, nowadays, authenticity is hard and rare to find. Nowadays, authentic people are scarce. That's why it's not 90 people in this chat right now. That's a fact. Authentic people are scarce nowadays. Loyal people are scarce nowadays. People that genuinely have good hearts are scarce nowadays. And see, that's another thing that's fucked up with social media. You got people with great hearts on social media. You got some beautiful people. They be talking about, and I'm not, all the people on Instagram ain't bad. All the people on YouTube ain't bad. All the people on Facebook ain't bad. But see, the good people that's on these social media sites, the only reason why they overlook because the negativity, it supersedes the good people with the good hearts. Like when you see the people saying that the man that walked around to the lady that was living in her car, and he decided to just put it up on motherfucking a GoFundMe, and he got his own construction company, a white man, tired of a lady living in a car, and got a whole group of other contractors and dudes to put that money together, and they built this woman a house from the ground up. I did a story on it. See, shit like that, they don't talk about. They don't talk about that. There's some great people in this motherfucking world. This dude's just walking around, just looking at people and homeless people going through their shit, that's making money and raising money and getting paid to raise money for people, changing their lives just because they're in fucked up predicaments. See, shit like that, they don't glorify that. That ain't nothing to talk about. People be like, so what, he did that? You know why? Because it's a bunch of selfish people and it's a bunch of people that's upset at the predicaments they in. Everybody fucked up, y'all. Don't make a difference. You never know. You might be in a better predicament than some other people, but you still look down on the world. That shit is crazy. And you can't, like, it's like see me, like over here I take it like a cookout, like a party. When we was coming up back in the days, if we said we was having a party or a get together or a cookout, when we sent out invitations and we told people that we were having a gathering, the people automatically knew one thing, that it was going to be a safe atmosphere. They was going to have a good time. It's going to be some good music. You know what I'm saying? Some good food, some liquor, some alcohol, whatever people getting into, whether they sniffing cattle, whether they smoking, it's going to be a good motherfucking evening. People going to spread love and then they going to go home. I'm not going to a motherfucking party where everybody going to get their gun in. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go to a party where nobody got a gun. Because there's no reason, because ain't nobody coming there to try to fight. We always was at the parties with our guns. That was the stupidest shit in the world. Why do we go to places where we got to carry guns to dance? Because motherfuckers is envious of each other. It ain't just social media. People are just really envious of people's glows, man. And people is just getting more and more evil. I don't understand. It's like if people don't pay attention, like I said, we got a 5-year-old little girl that's in the hospital praying for recovery because she was just destroyed by 3 children. If people don't understand right now that we're in a bad spot as far as human beings, that's why when I look at certain shit on YouTube, I can't really go in there. You dig what I'm saying? I can't look at certain shit. I'm not funny. I watch certain shit and then after a while I just stop paying attention to it because, like I said, it's just too much important shit going on. And I really don't be giving a fuck what motherfuckers be going through. You dig what I'm saying? If it ain't us, if we ain't going through no shit, it ain't really nothing to be worried about because we don't really be pushing no beef. That's why I say shout out to everybody over here. Word up, shout out to Miss Tanja. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in here, East New York, everybody, Annette, Keish, Angie. Like, people don't really be going nowhere with no wars, so we ain't really got no fucking problems, you know? And to the people, that's one thing I be saying to the people that be shooting at East New York. I'm gonna say this. I want people to really understand. Like, leave that woman alone, man. Like, goddamn. Like I said, it's so much hypocritical instances on YouTube. You dig what I'm saying? And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So for everybody that hears certain things, whether, like, even with Miss Tanja, like, I ain't with no dirty sector shit. I ain't banging. We over here chilling. We ain't getting in nobody business over there. I don't give a fuck with nobody else. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck with nobody over there going through, y'all. Respectfully, I don't want nobody beef over here. You dig what I'm saying? What them people got going on over there, y'all let that shit rock with them. You dig? Y'all let that shit rock with them. Word up. Don't even, because you know what? It's like people are really pay attention to shit and people are speak on something. And then just because something as simple as a curious question, Like somebody might come in here and say, yo, you heard what happened with XYZ and you heard what happened with XYZ. Just because somebody curiously overheard something, if you answer it, now you targeted too for the fucking drama. So if we just, you know what I'm saying, let them people go through what they going through, you know what I'm saying? Those of us that really fuck with each other, we got ways to get in touch with each other. If it's certain things we need to talk about that may be interesting to us that we just want to gabble about, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I ain't fucking with that shit. I ain't fucking with that shit, y'all. Whatever people got going on, whatever they want to got going on, they can keep it. I done sold them. Y'all can take it as a white flag or no. It's just that it's fucked up when people just really want to hate a smooth vibe. I thought it was me at first. I even told Hoodies this earlier. I don't even know if I told Keish this shit. It's like it's you know what I noticed what it is why people go against or people are upset with the people over here. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I notice it now because of the support system that everybody is to each other. Like, I think we're the only chat, just my opinion, that actually when people see each other come in the chat, they acknowledge each other and speak. You know, I've never seen it except when certain people may slide through. You know what I'm saying? I see certain people. We've never had that crowd where people were shooting at each other. Like, and this is what I try to tell people. That's why so many people shows that I may have just looked at, I would never type in the chat because I don't have to let you know that I'm watching. There's so many people on YouTube that just want to be seen. And that's scary. It's too many people that just want to be seen on YouTube. And then, you know what the fucked up part is? It's too many people want to be seen at the wrong time. I notice if you're doing a live about somebody and you're giving them your props, you're giving them their props. You're giving them their props. You're saying you feel as though you like their own platform. You dig how they carry their diddy bop. People will watch that. They'll never type in the chat, yo, that's right. That person is, okay, got a good platform. That person is informative. Y'all like that person platform. They won't type in the chat for that. But let it be, I have a problem with somebody. Let it be, I have a problem with somebody. So many people will type in the chat to comment on that. Now, the people that are already over here, they're going to type and they're going to comment simple and plain because they fuck with me. They don't give a fuck who watching. Your dice, you wrong. Your dice, you right. Your dice, I'm with you. Your dice, fuck all of them. Nah, dice, you shouldn't do that. They going to do that. But the people that only want to come around for the war is going to type when they want to include themselves in insulting somebody. And to me, that's sucker shit. To me, that's sucker shit. That's a fact. To me, that's real sucker shit. Like, for real. If you're going to support somebody, support them through everything. Support them when they're not talking about somebody. Don't just type your name when you feel as though, yo, I really don't fuck with him or I really don't fuck with her. But since I don't like this person, I'm going to type in the chat. That's another reason why I stay away from chats. It's another reason why I stay away from chats. I'm gonna wrap it up just like this, y'all. If we don't really start leading by example, fuck each other up here. Fuck it. We done made assholes of everybody up here. Fuck it. So what? But you never know what these kids is watching. We got babies 8, 9, and 10 years old with charges of kidnapping, attempted murder, sexual assault. And that's only from something that they saw or something they were allowed to see or what they exposed to. Yo, you understand? Like let me tell you something. I think about some shit now. When I was young, I remember when my uncle, they tried to rob him for his chains. And he wound up popping the chain and putting it inside of his underwear, and he got shot in his leg. He wound up taking the gun. He got shot in his leg from the dude and took the gun. Make a long story short, my grandmother was a nurse for Kings County Hospital. So I was sleeping on the second floor with my grandmother and them. I just stayed on the second floor, and then I remember my uncle running in the house, and my grandmother jumping up, and he in the kitchen going, "Mommy, I'm shot," and blood on the floor, and my grandfather and them like, "What happened?" And I'm listening to my uncle saying, "Yo, they tried to rob me." And then my uncle looked at me. I never forget. I'm a little boy. I'm like maybe 8, 9 years old. My uncle looked at me and was like, "Yo, they still ain't take nothing from me." He said, "Duty, don't never let nobody take nothing from you." And his chains, my grandmother was putting them on the kitchen table, but she was trying to look at him, and he wound up having to go to the hospital and all that. And then I never forget, my uncle went to jail behind that because he wound up taking the gun from the person. He grabbed the gun, like when the dude pulled the gun, he pushed the gun down, and like he was trying to get it out of his hand, and it shot him in his leg. And my uncle wound up taking the gun and shooting the dude. Thank God the dude ain't die. And my uncle went. I never forget. What that right there was something that I didn't remember till I remembered it. You know, I know my uncle, when he went through that situation that night, when he was coming in the house, he wasn't running up in the crib hoping to traumatize me, my grandmother, his mother, or my grandfather. He was coming in the house because he just got shot, and he knew my grandmother was a nurse. So it's like extreme violence. Maybe why I'm so susceptible to it is because I seen it from a baby. My babysitter took us downstairs. I'm 6, 7 years old, and her brother in the bed dead. So I've seen bodies from a child. That's like where I come from. Unfortunately, that shit is so fucked up. We have been exposed to so much. It's a normal. Like death is normal. Like it's like you rarely hear when I was coming up somebody died of leukemia or sickle cell anemia or pneumonia or you know, this is way before the whole crisis with AIDS and all this. I'm talking about you wasn't hearing about people dying like that. You was unfortunately hearing about people that was constantly being unalived. Like this one got killed here, and well, they killed him there, and well, he got killed, and this is what happened, and this is why he got killed. So that shit just became a norm. Like I think about that shit now that I ain't think about it when I was younger. This shit is so crazy. When people got unalived and we went to their funeral, the whole routine was we gonna go to the funeral, we gonna look at the body. A bunch of us gonna be at the funeral home. We're gonna be pouring out liquor, saying it's for him, and then we're gonna go somewhere, smoke some weed, and reminisce about our loved one. That was a continuing cycle. That was a routine. That was just a routine. Nah, me personally, I got other things to do. My aunt told me some shit the other day that just made me laugh. She said, "Yo, God got a plan for you." My aunt just told me, she said, "God got a plan for you. You got to sit down and have that talk with God." She scared the shit out of me when she said that shit, y'all. Shout out to my Aunt Debbie. She scared the shit out of me when she said, "Boy, let me tell you something." She said, "God got a plan for you." She said, "God got a plan for you." She said, "You done been through everything." She said, "You got to find you a good church." She said, "Because it's time for you to give your soul to God." I said, "Well, you know, I'm not with Christianity." I said, "I will look for a good mosque." She said, "Well, whatever you look for." She said, "You go ahead and get involved with it to purify your soul." She said, "That's what you got to clear up now, your soul." So like I told you, God engulfs me with a bunch of great people. So like I said, all that, like I said, us over here, like I said, I don't tell nobody where to go. But I will tell you this. This is a jewel I should have told East New York. This is a jewel I should have told her. I tell everybody, just get this jewel. Pay attention to where you type at. I don't tell nobody where to go. I am nobody's parent up here. But you have to pay attention to where you type. It's so fucked up on YouTube. You type somewhere, you will get the wrong response from the wrong people. And let me tell you something. I'm not even mad at people. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, like certain times I be ranking, and you know what I'm saying? If it gets to the fact where when I'm setting somebody where they flipping out on everything around and all, nah. We don't need that. Nah, that's different. I'm not, like I said, I be ranking. You rank on me, I rank on you. I don't want nobody going through no bullshit, no nervous breakdowns or losing no sleep or anxiety thinking, yo, dice on. Nah, that's not it. So like I said, nah, that shit is not me. That shit is not me. That shit is funny to me. It's not me. I think if you ranking with me, I'm ranking with you. But see, I don't be ranking all day. I just leave shit the fuck alone. But you know what? We just gonna stay on our content. We just gonna stay on our content. Like I said, this is a question that I said we need to talk about. And shout out to Tanja. Shout out to Cola James too. Shout out to Tanja because she said, Dice, do some content on what's going on with this young lady, Amarie. And all I know is my prayers go out to everyone. That little girl. My prayers go out to her mother. My prayers go out to them children that was responsible for such a horrific act. My prayers go out to the parents of those children that committed that act, because something was showed or something was done that was passed down just too much. See, and Keish, she was talking about this because part of her job, people have silenced children for so long. People have silenced the word of children for so long. Them children grew up to be very, very angry teenagers that grew up to be very, very dangerous adults. I'm a product of it. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I'm a product of it. Like I said, my grandmother and grandfather, they worked for everything they had. My grandfather went through his little time when he was dealing with some peoples, but my grandmother, I guess, she gave him like a better reason to be more invested into her instead of them streets. And he worked to the day he died. And my moms and pops. My mom's worked for everything. My pops worked for everything. He went to jail. Like, he done did shit too. So my pops is a killer. Like, my pops went to jail for murder. So, like, this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? My uncle is a gangster. You dig what I'm saying? Like, certain shit. My family didn't know the outcome and the effect that it would have on me. My mother would have never imagined me wanting to be in the street. My grandmother and grandfather never, I didn't want for nothing. This is a cold-blooded fact. I've never wanted for nothing. I'm talking about nothing. HBO on one floor, WHT on the next floor. Wallabies, Clarks, British Walkers, you name it, Sherlins, leather jackets, gooses, you name it. I've wanted for nothing. Tari, ColecoVision, I've named it. I've never wanted for nothing. So it's like, from it's not what you give your children, is what they attentive to, what snatched their attention. It was too late. My mom's, it was too late. By the time she really understood who I was, it was too fucking late. It was too fucking late. It was too late. But I'm still suffering. I'm cursed with that shit. Like I said, I got a lot of friends that's no longer here physically. You dig what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like really on some trying to perfect my life every day. Even though certain times I can get upset because, God got upset. But like me personally, I want a purification. I'm on some different shit. Like, I don't want no negative shit around me. I don't want no war around me. Like I told Dog earlier, a lot of times the wars that we possess are in our own mind. Until we conquer the wars within our own mind, we'll never have no peace with nobody else. You dig? Remember, y'all heard it first. Peace. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
robots, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?